Hello, welcome to Booster Session for lessons 1 through 3. This is the second booster. After this, we'll be ready to start phase 2. You are finally understanding now how to set your behavior goal. Are you ready to set that behavior goal and start working on it? Let's begin. But first, remember those rules to have your listening ears on and your thinking brain turned on. Be ready to say your answers out loud or point to your answers on your choice card, especially when you see the emblem at the bottom of the left corner. Today we're going to be talking about the choice card a lot and the selections that are available to you in the SDLMI probe. So we reviewed yesterday, but let's do it one more time. What question do you ask yourself when you're setting a goal? Is it A, what is my goal? Or B, what is my plan? Make your selection now. If you said A, what is my goal? Great job. That's exactly right. When we're setting a goal, we ask ourselves the question, what is my goal? So when you're on your SDLMI probe and you're being asked, what question do you ask yourself when you set a goal? Is it what is my dream? What is my goal? Or what is my problem? You know the answer that you should choose every single time is what is my goal? So what question do you ask yourself when you set a goal? What is my goal? Good. Okay, so we're going to answer these questions to help us set behavior goals. The first question is, what do you want to do to improve your behavior? You've gotten some really good examples of some goals that you can set at school. The one that we keep coming back to is, I will be a responsible student by following directions and doing my work quickly, quietly, with good quality, without disrupting the class. The reason why this is an appropriate goal for you is because it addresses the function of your challenging behavior, which we'll talk about in just a second. That motivation of behavior for attention or escape. And also, it will help you to address the needs for the classroom, to help you improve on your needs and to increase your on-task behavior in the classroom. So when you see the question on your SDLMI probe, what do you want to do to improve your behavior? Is it eliminate distractions, start work right away, or be a responsible student? You know that every single time we're going to keep talking about this goal in particular, that be a responsible student by following directions and by doing work quickly, quietly, with good quality, without disrupting the class, because it is a very appropriate goal for the behaviors that you demonstrate in class. So what do you know about your behavior now? Yesterday during your SDLMI probe, you stopped the probe and said, I usually pick A. I think my behavior is usually fine. But then I said, remember how we talk about your behavior and your needs in context of the rules and expectations. That sometimes we're not meeting the rules and expectations, especially about completing assignments and being engaged and participate. You do have strengths that do meet these rules and expectations. And while nobody is perfect, we really want to see you increase your on-task behavior, complete assignments, and be more engaged and participate in class more. So when you think about your needs and you think about how you're meeting rules and expectations or not meeting rules and expectations of the classroom, we know sometimes that your behavior does not always meet the classroom rules or expectations, because you might get in trouble sometimes. The teacher might ask you to stop to do things or redirect your behavior in certain ways. So some of those needs that we've talked about are due to a certain function or a thing that motivates us for our areas of need or why we do what we do. So the function of behavior is typically for attention or escape. And when you're out of your seat and you're trying to act silly and get attention from peers or get attention from your teacher, you may be like this guy. Remember, we talked about him and talking to his friends and how everybody's laughing. And while there's a time and a place for that type of behavior, it's not during classwork. So sometimes we may think that your behavior is because you are seeking attention, but at other times it may be because you want to avoid or escape less preferred work demands and do something like on your computer, watching YouTube, looking at stock images on Google for your trucks or whatever. Once again, not the worst thing in the world that you could possibly do, but still we want to increase your time on task. We want to address the function of your behavior through that goal that we've set, right? So once again, when you see this question on your choice sheet, what do you know about your behavior right now? Behavior is fine, does not always meet expectations, or friends have good behavior. Sometimes some answers will be silly and you can throw them out because who cares about your friends? We're talking about you right now. Is your behavior fine? Usually, yeah, but right now we're talking about how it does not always meet expectations in the classroom because of that function, and we've chosen a goal that addresses the function of your behavior. So what needs to change for you to improve your behavior? You have some choices here. Remember, I suggested and highly encouraged you to think about changes that you can make, because these are the things that you have the most control over versus the changes that you make in the environment around you. You can organize the environment around you, and that may be also something that you choose to do. Put things away that distract you, for example, or separate yourself from people who are irritating you or trying to distract you. But essentially, what needs to change for you to improve your behavior is that you become this person, the student who is responsible and following directions and doing work quickly, quietly, with good quality without disrupting the class. We talked about how it's important that a good student is ready to learn, pays attention, follows directions, asks questions, offers help, does their best, follows the rules, uses a quiet voice, participates, and respects others. This person who is a good student also puts forth the most effort each time they're asked to do something. So while the letter grade in A is not necessarily the most important thing in your lesson, your teacher will reward your behavior, will reward your effort with A's typically when they see that you're doing the best that you can. So that's what we want to do. When you see this question in your choice sheet in your SDLMI probe, what needs to change for you to improve your behavior? We never talk about a sensory tool. This isn't really necessary for you. While this makes sense that you begin work immediately and continue working until the task is complete, we once again see our images that are familiar and our goal that is familiar, because we are consistently talking about this the entire time through our lessons about accepting responsibility and doing work quickly, quietly, with good quality, knowing that there is a time and a place to act silly. So finally, what can you do to improve your behavior? Once again, your attention is drawn to that goal that we are setting about being a responsible student. So what goal did you set for yourself? Let's say it again together. I will be a responsible student by following directions and doing my work quickly, quietly, and with good quality without disrupting the class. Thanks for joining me again for this booster session. Let's take that SDLMI probe very quickly before we begin lesson 4. Thank you.